Good evening. How is everyone doing today? Welcome to your bonus episode of the Be the Message podcast. I am Angel Simmons, your Miss Midwest Revolutionary Purpose for the Revolutionary Pageant System. The purpose of this podcast is to shed light and give a voice to causes and people that are making necessary and significant change today in their field. Tonight, however, is a special episode. We are celebrating the longest and the darkest night of the year and the beginning of a new season. How many of you are ready for a new season? Something better, something more quiet, something more reflective, more peaceful, more restful. Tonight, we celebrate the winter solstice of 2025. In the northern hemisphere, today was the shortest day of the entire year. Um, Summer solstice is when we have the longest day of the year. This was the shortest day of the year. Either the earth is tilted closer to the sun or the earth is tilted further from the sun. Right now, we are further from the sun. Spring and fall have an equinox, so it means there's equal day and night when we have those. But the longest and darkest night of the year. How you feel about that? How you feel about celebrating the longest and darkest night of the year? Is celebration even the word we think of when we think about the longest or the darkest anything? Do we really think about celebration? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that particular word. Acknowledging, yes. Giving honor to, uh, making mention of, yeah, but celebrating something long and dark, I'm not sure. But that is what it is. That is what it is. So I wanted to honor this night just to reflect on the year and the season, right? There are different cultures that celebrate with different rituals and traditions and festivals, including Christmas for Christians. I wanted to celebrate tonight's winter solstice by reflecting on the triumphs throughout the year, by reflecting on the beauty of the winter season with memories of the holidays and past years, um, and also the anticipation of the holidays, especially welcoming in a new year because many of us are ready for something new. Mhm. Yes. So I told everybody to grab their warm beverage. My warm beverage tonight is hot peppermint tea with this lovely queen mug that came in a set. This mug came in a set. I believe this was from my dear friend Sheila in Ohio. Hey Sheila, got your mug out. Hot peppermint tea, just hot enough. Just hot enough. I told you all to light some candles. I am burning a Yankee Country apple. Everything smells amazing in here. Grab your favorite journal. This is my podcast journal. I use this journal for all my shows for this year, and I just put some stickers on there that mean something to me. One says "Just breathe." One says "Be present." Teach, love, inspire. You all know I worked in education. Give yourself grace. How many of us could use a little more grace this year, this season, this month, right? Let all that you do be done in love. It's from First Corinthians. And the last one on there, one is a leaf. It just reminds me of fall, which is my favorite season. Life is good, but the last sticker says love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, fruits of the spirit. So this is my journal I use for my podcast. You can flip back through all the shows from Mentality, from the show, and now Be the Message. So that's the book that I use. Your coziest socks. I'm rocking. Well, don't be laughing at me. I'm rocking the Grinch. I'm rocking my Grinch socks. I am also paying honor to those who are not feeling particularly celebratory during this season, but I am rocking my Grinch socks. My hoodie, sweatshirt, snow hood. Hope is coming. Hope is here. Um, I will post the link for this. If you have been watching my page and you know I posted recently about a song that I had the honor of singing background vocals on some years ago. And it was the anniversary of that song. And I posted the link and the information where you can get all of that. Isabel MacArthur. And this is the hoodie. These are actually lyrics in that song. Um, and I just wanted to put this on to remind us of hope. And this is part of the anticipation of the season. Hope is coming, hope is here. For Christmas and for Christians, that hope was the coming Messiah. For some of us, it is hope of change. It's hope for a new job. It's hope for a stronger marriage. It's hope for children that act like they got some sense. It's hope for acknowledgement of the work that we do and have been doing. Hope for better communities. It's a lot of things people are hoping for today. If you can think of something that I didn't name, please pop it in the comments. What are you hopeful for this season? What are you most hopeful for this season? I would love to hear that. Um, I believe the real miracle of the holiday season, the winter season, the end of the year. I believe the real miracle of the season is living through all of the loss and still having hope for better. Still being able to find moments of peace in the middle of chaos, still seeing light when you're deep in distress. That is the real miracle of the season. And if you agree with that or have some other thoughts, I would love to hear them. That is definitely what I have been feeling and sensing these past few months, especially in the last few weeks. Definitely feeling that with a lot of people who are struggling with finances, a lot of people who are looking for work, a lot of people who are dealing with health challenges or know people who are dealing with health challenges. It's a lot. It's a lot that is going on right now. That song, um, that song with these words here. Um, yeah, that. I didn't know I was going to be talking about hope when I pulled out my shirt, and I didn't even remember the connection. But that just goes to show you that everything is connected. Everything I've been praying for and hopeful for. Um, these are the things that we're dealing with right now. The name of the song is "Away from Home." Isabel MacArthur. You can find that song on Bandcamp, and I will put it in the chat So that if any, or in the comments, so if anybody, watches this on replay, you can go look up this song, and you can get it for as little as $1. You can pick up that song. But we sang background on this project 10 years ago. It's been 10 years. So this was the anniversary of this project 10 years ago, with some of my family from the Carriage House Christian Arts Conference, Isabel MacArthur, and a few other background people. We had a beautiful orchestra, beautiful musicians who were in the studio when we did this project. But hope seems to be the theme that keeps coming back to me. And I will post this link. I will post this link to Facebook when it ends, so that you can see it. So somebody else can see it. If you were not watching it on YouTube, or I'll just post the link. But um, thinking about the year and reflecting on some of the challenges, I think a lot of my challenges for this year came about in the first 2 quarters. I don't know about you all, but yeah, the year started off pretty heavy. Um, my pops had a mental health crisis and ended up being admitted into a facility, and has changed facilities since then, but still is in the facility and has not been back home since then. And he has been in my life since I was 4. So that has been pretty difficult for my mom. And uh, I want to say maybe a month or two after that, we lost a cousin. We lost a cousin in the family. And there was a memorial much later, but just that loss, and not being able to um, have closure for that. Um, waiting a couple of months to have a memorial. Anybody else's family do that? I always thought that was interesting. Somebody passes and then you got to wait. It's almost like you're going through it all over again. So that was in the first quarter. In the second quarter of the year, um, I lost my sister in April. Lost my sister. I only have one sister. Um, and that was my big sister. She was 14 years older than me, and had some health challenges, and it turned into some other things, and the doctors just could not get it together. But that also has been difficult for my mother. So that was some other grief. So I had my own grief, and then I had to watch my mom go through this. And we lost my brother 25 years ago. In 2000, we lost my brother. So watching my mom having to say goodbye to a second child, uh, that does something. That does something to you. Um, I worked for an after school program, major organization. If you know, you know, I'm not going to name them. But due to but due to grant uh, cycles ending, and a lot of the changes with the economy, and a lot of changes in the structure of nonprofits, and a lot of things that happened at the top of the year. We had 8 sites that closed um, before the summer, and then by the end of July, all 12 after school programs that were in Chicago public schools were closed, shut down. So I spent most of the first five months of the year packing, packing my office, distributing items, getting ready to say goodbye to a second group of kids. If you know me, then you know last year uh, I moved. had to close the site down. We had four sites that closed that year. Was it four or five? I think it was four sites that closed um, in 2024 in May, and this year we were doing it all over again. So 2 years in a row, I had to close down the site and say goodbye to a group of students that I had grown to love and affectionately called me Miss A. And yeah, that was pretty difficult. So in addition to death loss, there was job loss and connection loss, relational loss. Third quarter of the year, there was a lot of new things that were coming into play. I applied for this new pageant as your Miss Midwest Revolutionary Purpose, um, got accepted, and have have moved forward with that title that I'll be competing competing for the international title at the end of February. But I made that decision um, 2 days after my birthday. 2 days after my birthday, so June 28th, I was sitting on the computer filling out my application and sending in all this information, and not really knowing what was going to happen. Do I really want to do this? Do I want to, y'all know I retired from pageants and that. But this has been an interesting journey. Revolutionary family is a beautiful family who have embraced me and been extremely supportive. Even for future events we're talking about, they're already offering support and suggestions, and how can we help if you want to go somewhere 6 months from now. So they're yeah, it's been a blessing being a part of that family. My ultimate pageant family got a new name. We're now Ultimate Universe Pageants, and uh, our pageant moved from Orlando back to Atlanta. So we'll be in Atlanta next year, and we already have 5 competitors that have been working their passions and their platforms on the socials. And we have some new people that are coming in before the year is over. We have an amazing photo shoot that's scheduled for literally days from now, less than 2 weeks from now. I'll be with these people, hanging out, taking pictures, and some new headshots. So you're gonna see some new hair and a new face and new pictures, and I cannot wait to show you. Um, what else? So that was summer. Um, and then fourth quarter, new podcast, the Be the Message podcast. I had a guest in October. I had Miss April Rose for domestic violence awareness, and then November on National Author Day, I had my dear friend, USA best-selling author Jessica Cage. Got to say it right. So I had the Queen of Slay in October. I had USA best-selling author in November, and then in December, I had my dear friend Leanne Stockley, board certified mental health professional, relationality specialist, um, grief recovery specialist. He got so many titles. So those were my guests for October, November, December. I started back volunteering at Ronald McDonald House, and I've done a few things for them. You've seen me. I've been there twice doing cookies. They had an event at a recycling plant before that. Um, and then I started volunteering at Pause, which has been on my list of things to do for a while. I wanted a fur baby here, but I need more space. I need more space before something is walking around on all fours in this house. But I started volunteering at Pause, so I have been getting my furry fix and playing with the babies, a couple of times a month. And Yeah, I wasn't expecting. I was not. You could not have told me in January, February, March, April, May, June that any of these things would have transpired. So the first half of the year, first 2 quarters of the year were filled with loss and a little bleak. And then the last half of the year, nothing but surprises, lots of surprises. There were a few unpleasant. There were a few unpleasant surprises, and some friends that were dealing with loss or dealing with grief or dealing with divorces, separations, stalkers. We had it was quite a time, but there was more good than bad. There was more good than bad, and more pleasant surprises than unwelcome disruptions. I would have to say that. Intentions for the end of the year. I am I'm being very intentional about giving myself grace, especially when I am feeling overwhelmed with all of the things I have added to my own calendar. Sometimes we do that to ourselves. You the one who made that schedule. You put that on your schedule. Um, and it's kind of hard to get out of things sometimes when we have made major commitments. There are quite a few things I've committed to for the next 3 months that if I could go back and see where I would be right now, I probably would not have. But having made those commitments, having um, being a person that keeps your word, that builds your character. And as you are carrying out things that are on your schedule and things you have planned, you have to extend yourself grace. Um, you might not want to move today. Your body might be exhausted today. You might be dehydrated today. Let me sip this tea while I'm talking about being dehydrated because I don't think I've had enough water today. But there are some things that you can't do everything. You can't do everything. So I've been very intentional about giving myself grace. If there's a day where there's nothing on my schedule and I'm sitting on this couch, that's what I'm doing. This is what's on my schedule, sitting on this couch. And anything else is a bonus. Anything else is a bonus. Making sure that I hydrate. If I didn't drink water, I'm drinking tea. I'm drinking juice. I'm going to eat my fruits and vegetables, something. Making sure I am in physical therapy. Make sure I'm in Pilates. That's my physical therapy. Making sure I'm stretching my body. As the weather changed, I stopped going to the pool. So I'm not getting as much cardio as I was getting, which means if it's a 40-degree day, I got to go walk. Sun or not, I got to hit the trail because I haven't been getting the cardio that I'm used to. My Zumba teacher left in October. Uh, have I been back to Zumba? No. I do it at home. I do Zumba at home. Um, my Pilates teacher, my favorite Pilates teacher, is leaving at the end of this year. Shout out to Terry if you happen to watch this. Um, she's taking a sabbatical, being intentional about her time and giving herself grace, and hopefully coming back stronger with some more classes. Because I want to get into calisthenics. and and I need a few more things. I need a few more things before I push my body to that level. Um, yeah, so grace would be my biggest intention moving into the new year. Favorite holiday memories and things. There's so many things that I could name, but one of the memories that sticks out to me. I'm in Chicago, and there's a neighborhood called Beverly, not that far from here, and there's one particular block between like 99th and 100, whatever. There's one block over there where every house on the block, supposedly, most every house on the block, they have these giant cutouts. Um, these giant cutouts from different Christmas movies. So this house is Charlie Brown. This house is Shrek Christmas. This house is A Nightmare Before Christmas. This house is Mickey Mouse. This house is, you following me? So every house, and they're like life size, like people size cutouts. And they're, well lit and they're hand painted and it's gorgeous. But every year they put these cutouts on the street. And I remember the first year I wasn't working, so this would have had to be either Christmas 2015 or Christmas 2016. I think it was 15. I still had my black car, still had the Shark, had a Hyundai Elantra. Loved that car. It was my first car. But I went and got my god babies. My goddaughter, ooh, she just turned 21 this year. I 21 or 22. Pick one of them. 21 or 22. I think it was 21 though. Um, but her brother's a few couple years younger than her. She's my goddaughter. I kind of adopted him because they were always together. But the first year I didn't have presents. I didn't have presents to give them because I would always find them on Christmas, whoever's house they were at, and drop off their presents. I didn't have presents this year, but I went to the house where they were anyway, and I said, I need you all to go for a ride with me. And if you have my book, this one, if you have this book, this story is in that book somewhere. Um, I went and got them. We went for a ride. We went to Beverly. We parked on the corner of that block and we walked the block with the decorations. And they had a dog. They had a dog and the dog went with us. Are you kidding me? There was a dog in my car. That was crazy. But we had a good time and it wasn't freezing cold. We bundled up. But I think I had to give one of my gloves, one of my earmuffs. But we walked the block and we looked at the decorations and we talked about the movies that were represented by each house, movies, cartoons, whatever stories. Um, that was my gift. My gift was time. My gift was time for them that Christmas. I didn't have gifts to drop off. Um, and we crossed the street. We did the other side. When we got to the end of the block, I thought we were just going back to the car. I was going to drop them back off at cousin's house or whatever. And they were like, "Can we keep walking?" I could have died. I could have died on that corner right there. Can we keep walking? Are you kidding me? These kids wanted to keep walking. And the next block wasn't, there was no cutouts or anything. It was just regular decorations, but they wanted to keep walking. And we were spending time. We were spending time together and we were talking about school and friends and family and taking care of this new dog they had. And it was probably one of the best, warmest godmother TT Angel moments I have had. Um, put that at the top list of Christmas movies. Put that Christmas memories and moments. That's in the top five. That's definitely top five category. Might be top three, but definitely top five. That they wanted to spend time walking and talking. And what do? You walk and you talk. We were frozen by the time we got back to the car. And I dropped them back off at the house, and everybody got hugs, and I had cake, and I went back home. But that is one of my most special memories of the holidays that I wanted to share. Because this is a difficult season with our economy, because so many people are struggling with money and work. I was blessed for Thanksgiving. I donated a dinner to a family in the Gage Park area for Christmas. If you saw yesterday, I donated a Christmas breakfast to a family on the South Side, and I don't know. I don't know. God keeps blessing me, and I do my best to keep being a blessing. But people are struggling with money. They don't have giant tree. I don't. My mama insisted that we have a tree, or that I have a tree because I did not decorate last year because I thought I was moving. I thought I was moving at the top of the year, and I did not decorate. And here we go. There we go. But it's a lot of people with trees that don't have gifts under them. And the one thing that you can give is your time. So I wanted to share that story in particular. Um, things I'm looking for in things I'm looking forward to in 2026. Obviously, the photo shoot I talked about. I will be volunteering at Revolutionary National Pageants in January. The second week in January, I'll be volunteering there. I will also be competing at the end of February. There's an event somewhere in between those 2 months that I have to schedule and post about, but I'll be in Ronald McDonald House January and February, two different houses. So they will get cookies both months, in addition to March, I believe. One of those houses is Oakland, the other one is North. I don't remember the other location, but that'll be the first time that I go. It's whichever location is actually in a hospital and not an off-site house like the others. And that'll be the first time that I go there. Um, the Global Beauty Awards is in April, and I was nominated for Best Content, for Most Impactful, as well as the Carrie Damiano Faith in Action Award. So I was officially nominated for those three. Very, very grateful. It's an incredible opportunity. That awards night is in April near Seattle, and that'll be my first time in Washington. So looking forward to that. Ultimate Pageants is in September in Atlanta. Um, Somewhere in there, I need to be working. I'll be working somewhere. However, this time off has changed my perspective of what work looks like. And I will definitely be looking for something that is more remote, that is more flexible with time and hours, so that I can continue to give and serve and travel, and be available to my family, especially with my mother. And yeah, that work is gonna have to be different from here on out. It will not be a 9 to 5. I'll tell you that. Um, Also, for next year, you're gonna see a lot more uh, of these being posted. So you can go to angelsimmons.com and grab Love's Great Design, which is a 52-week devotional, Target of Love, Surviving Narcissistic Abuse. It's a journey back to Love's Great Design. You'll see a lot more Love's Great Design and Target of Love in the new year. I'll be doing some book fairs. I will be doing some book readings in some stores and places, to meet the author. I got a bunch of merch that I'll be moving. You'll also see me on some different social media platforms because um, I got some new items. I have some new items. You'll be able to send somebody a luxury box. You'll be able to grab some homemade, handcrafted crochet items. Kind of like this blanket. Maybe not a blanket. I don't know if I'm gonna be making blankets, but um, this is the first blanket that I actually made. Of course, it's for Christmas. I sat and made this sometime after the pandemic, but this is big enough to cover your a queen size bed. I didn't intend it to be that big when I started, but that's how it ended up. But you'll be able to get some handcrafted items, um, in the new year. That'll be on the website and available in person. But you'll also get a chance to see me sit and craft some things. So it's a lot that I'm looking forward to in the new year. Hope I hope and I pray that you have a list of things you are looking forward to, and it doesn't have to be financial. Doesn't have to be material. It can be more time. It can be better health. It can be more sleep, better quality sleep. Um, the list goes on. So those are things I'm looking for in 2026. Also looking forward to. I mentioned Pilates. I mentioned Terry. I mentioned calisthenics earlier. I want to do something different with my body. I've been watching Rogue. I forget the rest of her name, but if you watch Rogue on Instagram, um, she is always on her head doing headstands with her feet going every which way. And we look like we about the same size. I said, wait a minute. Um, my body can do some things that okay, interesting. So I'm looking to become more flexible. And calisthenics is something that's in my future, in addition to taking more Pilates classes and advancing in that. Yeah, so those are some things on my list. Um, if you have anything you want to share, please feel free to comment. If you comment while you are catching the replay, I will promise to respond back to you. Before we close, I just wanted to give you all a moment to breathe, a moment of mindfulness, um, maybe some affirmations moving into the new year. But if you can get comfortable where you are and get used to this, because you're going to see something else in the beginning of 2026. Last thing that I'll mention, uh, there's this event. It is a global event called the 7 Days of Rest, and it's always January 1st through the 7th. And you are going to see an event from me that will be hosting either 7 minutes or 17 minutes, whatever we put together. But there'll be something every day that talks about our rest and slowing down and being more mindful and taking time to breathe. I'll be posting that after the holidays. I didn't want to put all of that up now, but you'll see that being posted. And please, I welcome you to come and join me. It is a time to sit and be still, and get what you need. Get what you need. So, before we go, I just wanted to give you that moment, a moment to do just that. Sit and be still. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Make sure you're breathing from your belly. Take a breath in, blow it out of your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Think about how far you've come this year, how many challenges you have overcome this year, how many blessings you are leaving this year with that you didn't have on January 1st, how many reasons you have to be thankful and grateful. Think about the people that are with you, that support you, that love you, people that did not leave your side no matter what happened this year. I hope you all are able to make some space for yourself, make some space for more grace for you. I want to remind you that you are loved, you are needed, you are valued, you are worthy, you are supported, you are safe. Mhm. Yes, your life means something. You matter to so many people. And if you are so willing to remind somebody else today, that would make me the most happy. Remind somebody else today they are loved, they are valued, they are worthy, they are important, they are safe, they are supported. Remind somebody else that they are seen, they are heard, they are understood. That is the best gift you can give somebody. I wish you all happy holidays and a blessed new year. And I look forward to seeing you on the next Be the Message podcast in January. But don't be a stranger. Reach out, say hello, and we'll talk soon.